I'll bring an image from Google Images for a reference. I'll rotate and move the reference to the proper position. I add a curve object and move it to the base of the blade. In edit mode, select the curve object and delete the vertices. I select the curve pen tool and begin to outline the blade reference. If you haven't watched my curve pen tool tutorial, please pause this tutorial and watch that one first. Once I have the outline done with the curve pen tool, I open the Object Data Properties tab and lower the resolution preview. In object mode, I select the blade, right-click, and convert the curve into a mesh. In edit mode, I select the vertices along the blade and add faces. In object mode, I add a solidify modifier to give the blade a bit of thickness. I then apply the solidified modifier. In object mode, I add a circle, rotate it around the x-axis 90 degrees, and move it into place at the top of the blade. I scale it to the proper size to act as my boolean for the hole. In edit mode, I add a face and extrude the circle along the y-axis so it intersects with the blade. Under the Overlays menu, I check the face orientation of the two objects. If anything is red, I use Alt-N to flip the normals. This needs to be done so the boolean will work and also so the materials will work outside Blender, such as in a game engine. In object mode, I shade the circle smooth. I then add a boolean modifier with the circle as the object, and operation will be different. I then apply the modifier and delete the circle. In edit mode, I add a small bevel to the hole I just cut out. If you're experiencing problems, you can change the support edges by merging vertices. To smooth out some of the square edges, in edit mode, I'll add bevels to certain edge loops along the edge of the blade. In object mode, I right-click and choose Shade Auto Smooth. To fix the shading issues around the boolean, in edit mode, I select the outer edge loop and scale it along the y-axis. I'll now add a cube, moving and scaling it to the proper place for the connector piece. In edit mode, I'll continue scaling the connector piece. I select the top side edges and bevel them to round out the top. I'll merge the two center vertices. Lastly, I check to make sure the normals are not flipped. I select the bottom face and extrude it to start forming the hilt. I then select the two side faces and using E and Alt S to scale them along the x-axis. In object mode, I right-click and choose Shade Auto Smooth. I also add a small bevel using the bevel modifier. I add a circle and scale it to the proper size for the handle. I move it up along the z-axis until it is slightly inside the hilt. In edit mode, I add a face and extrude it down along the z-axis. I add 4 horizontal edge loops. I move the lowest edge loop toward the bottom of the handle and space the others out evenly. I select all 4 edge loops and add a bevel. In face select mode, I use E and Alt S to extrude the faces of the bevels. I then add a bevel to the edges. In object mode, I right-click and choose Shade Auto Smooth. I make sure I'm in material preview mode so I can see my materials. I split the viewport and open the shader editor. I add a new material for the handle. I change the metallic to 1 and the roughness to 0.2. I change the base color to almost black. I now add a second material to the handle for the lighter metal. In edit mode, I select the extruded parts of the handle and assign the new material. I also apply this material to the hilt. I add a new material for the blade. I change the metallic to 1 and the roughness to 0.2. I add a gradient texture to the base color. Using the Node Wrangler add-on, I select the gradient texture node and use Ctrl-T to add a mapping and texture coordinate node. I change the coordinate node from generated to object. I change the Y rotation to 90 degrees so the black is on the bottom of the blade. I also changed the X location so the black is taking up less of the blade space. I add a color ramp between the gradient texture and the principled shader. I changed the black color stop to a mid-gray and the white color stop to a light gray. I also changed the interpolation to ease so I won't have hard edges on the material. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, comment, and turn on notifications. If you want to request a tutorial, please leave a comment below. Have a good day.